The story begins with a lonely girl who is bullied every single day at school. Her classmates constantly torment her, throwing trash at her and even tossing shoes onto her head. Although she suffers in silence, she never finds the courage to stand up for herself. One day, a kind-hearted senior student named Kayazumi witnesses the bullying and immediately steps in to stop it. After the morning assembly, he approaches the girl and gently asks if she needs help. Instead of answering, she becomes terrified, screams, and runs away. Kayazumi is left confused while everyone else watches as if nothing unusual has happened. Soon, rumors spread throughout the school. Simply for trying to help her, Kayazumi is mocked and given an embarrassing nickname. His classmates tell him the girl's name is Hari Koromoto and claim that she is mentally unstable. They warn him that anyone who gets close to her ends up miserable. The entire grade seems to hate her. However, Kayazumi quickly realizes this isn't a problem with Hari. It's a clear case of brutal school bullying. Having always believed in justice, he decides to do something about it. When he visits Hari's classroom, he is horrified. Her classmates are kicking over her desk, insulting her, and treating her like she isn't even human. Hari sits quietly in the corner like a broken doll, covered in both physical and emotional scars. Kayazumi shouts at the bullies, but instead of stopping, they mock him and ask if he thinks he's some kind of superhero. Furious, he declares that evil should never go unpunished. Ignoring everyone's criticism, he quietly picks up Hari's fallen desk and chair, hoping his actions will make a difference. Unfortunately, he underestimates how cruel people can be. After school, he finds Hari's shoes scattered across the ground. The bullies have even vandalized her shoe locker by changing the name tag. Without saying a word, Kayazumi cleans everything up and restores her locker. Day after day, he continues helping her in secret, never expecting anything in return. One afternoon, some students mention that several younger boys are blocking the girls' restroom and refusing to let anyone enter. Suspecting that Hari is inside, Kayazumi rushes there immediately. Inside, he finds Hari shivering in a corner after being locked inside. She stares at him silently, unable to believe someone has actually come to rescue her. When he gently asks if she's cold and whether she wants to go home, she simply apologizes. At that moment, Kayazumi realizes she wasn't screaming at him that first day because she hated him. She believed he was just another bully trying to hurt her, so she instinctively panicked. Hari reveals that she knows someone has been fixing her shoe locker every day. She just never knew how to thank him. Kayazumi finally feels that the misunderstanding between them has disappeared. He soon learns that Hari had been trapped in the restroom overnight. The bullies poured water over her and left her freezing in the middle of winter. Even then, she refused to call her father or grandmother because she didn't want to trouble them. Instead, she waited for her clothes to dry, even though the temperature had fallen below freezing. Determined to help, Kayazumi unlocks the door, gives Hari his warm coat, wraps his scarf around her, and does everything he can to keep her warm. What shocks him most is Hari's response. Rather than blaming the bullies, she insists they aren't completely bad because the water they poured on her was clean, and the last bucket was even warm. Kayazumi refuses to accept such kindness toward people who treated her so cruelly. As they walk together through the freezing night, Hari wonders why Kayazumi keeps helping her when everyone else avoids her. Instead of answering directly, he shares his childhood dream. His father drowned while saving someone else's life before Kayazumi was even born. Ever since then, he has dreamed of becoming a hero just like his father. His mother always taught him that heroes never fight for themselves and never give up. Hari is deeply moved because she has never met someone so genuinely kind. The two visit a friendly elderly woman, who becomes furious after hearing about the bullying. She dries Hari's clothes and prepares warm red bean soup for her. While waiting, Kayazumi secretly adds an extra rice cake to Hari's bowl, making her smile with genuine happiness. Watching her enjoy such a simple meal makes Kayazumi realize that every small act of kindness truly matters. He tells Hari that she has a wonderful personality and is far more interesting than she believes. When Hari asks why he keeps helping her, Kayazumi smiles and replies, "Does a hero really need a reason?" Those words completely change Hari's heart. She no longer wants to be the fragile girl who breaks so easily. Instead, she wants to become strong like Kayazumi, even if her dream of fighting UFOs sounds a little strange. Before they part, Kayazumi even teaches her a funny superhero pose to help her stand up against bullies. Seeing Hari laugh for the first time makes every embarrassing moment worthwhile. The next morning, the elderly woman gives Kayazumi a homemade cake for Hari. Nervously, he waits for her on a bridge before school. When Hari finally arrives, he notices she no longer hides her face behind her hair. The sadness has faded from her expression, replaced by a quiet confidence. Hari is overwhelmed because nobody has ever given her a gift before. Kayazumi tells her that from now on, he'll wait for her every morning so they can walk to school together. As they spend more time together, Another classmate named Ozaki notices Hari's transformation. She returns the glasses Hari lost during the restroom incident and finally gathers the courage to speak with her. Sadly, the bullying continues. During lunch, the bullies target Hari once again. This time, Ozaki courageously steps in to protect her. When the bullies turn on Ozaki, Hari remembers Kayazumi's lesson and bravely stands in front of her friend, declaring that they should bully her instead. One of the boys throws a box at Hari, but Kayazumi quickly blocks it before she gets hurt. Teachers finally arrive, but once again, they're too late. Even when the school suggests informing their parents, Hari refuses because she insists she hasn't been seriously injured. She believes everything should remain peaceful, even after everything she's endured. As the days pass, Kayazumi and Hari grow closer. But one day, he notices strange scars on her wrist. Suspecting there's more to her suffering than school bullying, he devises a small plan to examine them more closely. He invites Hari to his house under the excuse of lending her some study notes. While he's upstairs, his mother comes home and mistakenly assumes Hari is his girlfriend. She warmly welcomes her, shows childhood photos of Kayazumi, and invites her to stay for dinner. Suddenly, Hari panics because she must return home before 7 o'clock or her father will become angry. Realizing something is wrong, Kayazumi's mother decides to drive her home herself. On the way, Hari spots her father's car and calls out to him. Instead of responding warmly, he ignores her and almost causes an accident while reversing his vehicle. Hari becomes visibly frightened around him, behaving as though he were a complete stranger instead of her own father. Trying to make conversation, Kayazumi's mother asks about Hari's grandmother. Hari's father explains that he placed her in a municipal nursing home. To his surprise, Kayazumi's mother reveals that she actually works there and kindly offers to help care for Hari's grandmother whenever needed. The moment she says this, Hari's father's expression changes completely, as if she has accidentally uncovered a secret. Hari immediately urges him to leave as quickly as possible. The following morning, Kayazumi waits at their usual meeting place, but Hari never arrives. When he checks the first-year entrance, he discovers that she hasn't come to school at all. The next morning, Kayazumi waits for Hari at their usual meeting place, but she never arrives. The kind elderly woman, still worried about Hari, gives Kayazumi another homemade cake to deliver to her. Since Hari doesn't come to school again, he quietly leaves the cake inside her shoe locker. When Hari finally returns the following day, she is no longer the cheerful girl he had begun to know. Her hair once again hides her face, and she sits alone in the corner of the classroom, making herself as small as possible as if trying to disappear from the world. Kayazumi tries talking to her, but she doesn't respond. She simply stares into space until school ends. After classes, he notices Hari taking the cake out of her locker. Before he can say anything, she throws it onto the ground and runs away. Shocked by her sudden change, Kayazumi chases after her. Ozaki also tries to stop Hari, but she panics, pulls away and runs even faster. Kayazumi watches helplessly as she disappears once again. Although heartbroken, he refuses to give up. He visits Hari's house, but the quiet, lifeless home only makes him more anxious. He calls her name several times, yet no one answers. That evening, while standing by his bedroom window, Kayazumi suddenly notices Hari standing silently below like a shadow. He invites her upstairs, but she hesitates and makes one strange request. "Don't turn on the lights. If you do, I won't come." Even though he doesn't understand, he agrees. Once inside, Hari quietly warns him that danger is approaching. She tells him to take his family and leave immediately because a UFO is about to attack. This time, Kayazumi finally understands. The UFO Hari has always talked about isn't imaginary at all. It is actually her abusive father. Determined to learn the truth, Kayazumi asks her what is happening. However, Hari keeps repeating the same desperate words. "Please, run away." Unable to bear the uncertainty any longer, Kayazumi switches on the light. The moment the room brightens, he freezes in horror. Large bruises and deep wounds cover Hari's face. Slowly pulling back her hood, he realizes why school bullying never seemed to affect her as much as everyone thought. Compared to the abuse she suffered at home, the bullying at school was nothing. Now that the truth has been exposed, Hari finally stops hiding everything. She reveals that her father murdered her grandmother and dumped her body into a lake. Hari witnessed the entire crime but was powerless to stop him. Later, her father pretended to be drowning and tricked Hari into trying to save him, only to accuse her of being involved in the crime. When he discovered that Kayazumi's mother worked at the nursing home where Hari's grandmother was supposedly staying, he panicked. Afraid his secret would be exposed, he decided to kill both Kayazumi and his mother as well. The injuries on Hari's face were caused by her father while he tortured her, demanding to know Kayazumi's address. Hari deliberately gave him the wrong location, but she knew it was only a matter of time before he found the truth. After hearing everything, Kayazumi becomes even more determined not to abandon her. He promises that from now on, he will stay by her side and protect her so no one can ever hurt her again. Together, they borrow an inflatable boat and head toward the lake, hoping to recover Hari's grandmother's body and finally gather enough evidence to expose her father. As Kayazumi pedals his bicycle toward the lake with Hari riding behind him, she briefly forgets all the pain she has endured. Smiling softly, she asks him, "Senior, when all of this is over, will you stay with me?" Without any hesitation, Kayazumi replies, "I'll always stay with you." Those simple words fill Hari with happiness she has never experienced before. Kayazumi smiles back and tells her, "Your happiness is the reason I keep living." He promises that no matter what happens, nothing will ever break the bond between them. At the lake, they search for the suitcase containing Hari's grandmother's body. After a while, they discover a red suitcase, but when they open it, they are stunned. It isn't her grandmother's suitcase at all. Inside are belongings that belong to Hari's mother. Until now, Hari believed her mother had abandoned the family. But after finding her mother's earrings inside the suitcase, the horrifying truth becomes clear. Her mother never ran away. She was murdered by Hari's father as well, and her body had also been thrown into the lake. Realizing the case is far bigger than they imagined, Kayazumi decides they must contact the police immediately. However, when they arrive home, he suddenly remembers he doesn't have his house key. Even worse, Hari's father's car is parked outside. Fear instantly fills Hari's eyes. Before either of them can react, her father appears silently behind them. Without warning, he swings a golf club directly at Kayazumi. The blow knocks him to the ground instantly. Hari is beaten just as brutally for betraying him. Within moments, the house turns into a nightmare. Desperate to erase every piece of evidence, Hari's father drags both of them inside and sets the house on fire. Although badly injured, Kayazumi refuses to give up. He remembers the promise he made long ago, to become a hero. Using every bit of strength he has left, he slowly raises his finger and performs the same transformation gesture he had taught Hari before. It had always been their secret signal. Seeing it gives Hari the strength to stand once more. She weakly raises her hand and returns the same gesture. At that moment, while her father is distracted by her mother's earrings, Hari suddenly gets up, grabs the golf club, and strikes him with all her strength. For the very first time, Hari becomes her own hero. She defeats the UFO that had haunted her entire life. Just as Kayazumi had always protected her, she now saves him in return. At last, the nightmare finally comes to an end. When Kayazumi regains consciousness, he wakes up in a hospital surrounded by his mother and friends. The police recover 2 bodies from the lake, Hari's mother and grandmother, and conclude that Hari acted entirely in self-defense. She is declared innocent. After everything is over, Hari starts a brand new life. She moves to another city, changes her name, and leaves her painful past behind. For 3 years, she never sees Kayazumi again. Only after his graduation do they finally reunite. After surviving so much suffering and separation, they eventually get married and start a happy family together. In time, Hari becomes pregnant with their first child. However, on the day their baby is due to be born, heavy rain causes a terrible accident. While rushing to the hospital, Kayazumi notices a car trapped in floodwaters. Without thinking twice, he jumps into the water to rescue the passengers. One by one, he saves everyone inside. But after rescuing the last person, he runs out of strength. The current pulls him beneath the water. Just like his own father before him, Kayazumi dies while saving someone else's life. He never gets the chance to meet the child who had been waiting to be born. At the hospital, Hari gives birth to a baby boy. The child enters the world on the very day he loses his father. Perhaps because his father died as a hero, the boy grows up dreaming of becoming a hero himself. Every time he strikes the same transformation pose, Hari sees Kayazumi's reflection in him. Watching her innocent, slightly clumsy son always brings a gentle smile to her face. Maybe she finds his little hero act adorable, or maybe, every time she looks at him, she sees the man she loved more than anything. And with that bittersweet ending, the story comes to a close.